That boy good. That boy
Yeah,
real
yeah.
good. That boy good. What's up? What's up? What's up?
How you doing, Tom?
I'm all right.
I love that song.
Trying to figure out why my Taproot logo is not showing up. I'm kind of confused. This one works.
Volatile.
This one works,
Thom Hazaert.
but no tour pat. It's
Hmm.
like fuck you. I'm not going to work. Well, I'm going to add a new Taproot logo, and I'm going to beat the system. So how you doing, Phil?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
So of course that was excuse me while I kiss this guy off of the best besides.
Yeah, so kiss from the sky.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, my bad.
I threw you off by saying that right before we played it.
So the best of besides is out Friday on all
Yeah.
digital outlets. Dude, what is going on with the logo?
And then people
Why
can
are
hear
we
that
having?
song on demand. It's there. It's just really dark.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that
You got
what
to
it
make it
is?
white. Yeah, I can see it. It's none
Okay,
more black.
so it's just black on black.
Yeah. Taproot's Black album.
In keeping with the theme of scissors.
Yes, yes. None more black.
No, dude, I seriously lost it. Like I didn't look at Phil's thing under his when I started cracking up like a minute after we started. That's why, because I looked at Phil's little header. Last week, like 30 people. Every time we do this, like 30 people say it's Max Cavalera. So I figured I would just come out of the gate swinging and be like, I am not Max Cavalera.
We do need to get him on one of these days, though. That'd be great.
Right? We should get Max. Hello, I am Max. Soul Flag Tribe.
There you go. That's a good impression.
Thank you.
What's going on, Pam? Pam.
You know, I used to be in bands that covered Sepultura songs when I was like
Hi,
15,
Chelsea.
16. And I did a pretty mean Max Cavalera impression too.
Yeah.
So ironically enough, I did not look as much like him then.
Right. You ever see on your travels, Tom, that guy that looks like Ozzy Osbourne, that like more than Ozzy looks like Ozzy?
Yes. Yes. Ooh, Chelsea's joining us from work. So, but yeah, I guess when the screens split more, then you can see the Taproot logo. I thought I had a white one.
I thought you did too. I could see it on the other ones. I don't.
I know. I'm so confused. What is going on here?
None more black. Yeah.
There are none more black. I mean, you look at it and you go, really, how?
I'm just gonna beat that joke to death.
How much more black could it be? And the answer is none. None more black. So sorry, I'm dealing with.
Yeah. Well, tell me this, Taproot or Metallica representatives.
All right. Yeah, they're suing us. They're suing us. So I'm dealing with your singer, who's going to be joining us shortly.
Oh, I don't think people mind you being distracted for that.
I know. See, people don't realize like all of this nonsense that goes into this. Here we go. Look at that. There's my logo. I used to have shirts like that were dope as fuck, made by Puck Hockey. Tonight I'm representing Puck Hockey.
All right.
Dude, how dope is this fucking jersey, by the way?
Dude, that's great.
Isn't it sick? They're supposed to send Steve a big bunch of stuff, and I don't know if they have yet. I think they're going to send you some stuff. But
did Taylor get some stuff when he visited?
Yeah, Taylor went there. See, Steve could have went there, and they could have gotten whatever he wanted, but he didn't go. But Taylor went over there, and he got a bunch of stuff. So
they're just being married with kids and not married with kids.
I know. I know. Yeah, they're going to send Steve some stuff eventually. And eventually we're probably going to do some Taproot stuff with them too.
Heck yeah.
I know, right?
I like the umlauts in your logo there, Tom.
Thank you. It comes from many, many years of being a Motley Crue fan.
Yeah. Gotta have the umlauts.
Yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, I got to get back on the comments. Like, I'm not on my game here.
Flustered. Oh, green. Okay.
It's actually not a cold poster. It's actually a gold record from Year of the Spider, but thank you. What's up, Robert? How you doing, buddy? Green Bay and Sturdivant. Racine.
that Racine for
Yeah.
us?
Route 20, 21,
Yeah.
41. It's a
So
great
the real name is Studervant.
Funny enough, the last time I was there, you know who I was with?
Who?
Max Cavalera. True story. The last time I was at Route 20 was hanging out with Max and Gloria Cavalera and Mark
Nice.
Rizzo when he was still in the band.
Oh yeah, I've got one of his picks.
Yeah, but it's a great venue though, man. I actually played there before, and then but yeah, the last time I was there was with Soulfly. Blue Ridge. We know what day we're playing. Saturday.
Are we allowed to say that?
I don't know. I hope so because I just did. If we're not supposed to, sorry, but we're just excited.
Bill got by the whole thing. What's up, Lee?
No one told me I couldn't say it, so I get by on a technicality, right?
Right. Yeah, but I figure if you're there for Saturday, you're there for the other days. Like you really don't have an option.
I know you're just. We literally like you bet Phil has had hotel rooms booked for all 4 days for like 6 months because we didn't know what day we were going to be playing. My brother Igor is good. So who's all going to Blue Ridge? Anybody besides me and Phil?
Steve will be there.
Steven will be there. He will be there, and he is the man. You're right. When are we coming to Texas? I don't know. Maybe eventually.
Where in Texas would you like us to come, Travis? Oh, heck yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
What's going on, Adam? Prospect Hill in the house. Couldn't see that. I don't remember what he's talking about.
New York City, Gramercy Theater.
Yeah.
We're pretty excited about that.
November 4th?
What? I set my friends on fire won't be? Yeah, they will. Yeah, they
might be, right? Well,
they're playing. They're at Blue Ridge. Damn right they are.
They should be.
Yeah, we're sad we can't. I'm sad they're not at Sick New World. Fucking assholes.
We'll be all right.
We should be. We should be.
We should be rocking. That's like, what, 2 weeks, dude?
I know.
I could not imagine if I had a show in 2 weeks. I mean, obviously,
I know. There's no way in hell you guys would have been ready to play that at all.
Yeah.
So next year. Hopefully next year.
Yeah.
We're hoping they do it again. It goes. I'm sure it will. It sold out in like 12 minutes. Sold out faster than the Machine Shop did.
Did it really? That big festival?
I mean, it sold out quick, dude. It sold out like the first day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at all the bands on there. I mean,
I know.
Each band has 10 fans and they've sold it out.
Yeah. No, exactly.
A lot of bands on there.
Oh, you got jokes, Philip. I know that
sometimes.
Yeah. I know. I wish, but yeah, there's no. I mean, I'm glad. It would have been awesome for you guys to be on it, but there's just no way with everything else we have going on. Like, you guys could have been ready for that. We have so much other shit on the plate. So hopefully they do it next year. I'm sure they will because it sold out so fast, and hopefully it goes good and they do it next year and they ask us again. And this time I will make you say yes. This time I will be around to say we're playing Sick New World.
There we go. I think it's cool though the way Blue Ridge did it with us, man. We were the first announced on there, man. They made us a priority. We got the Saturday slot. You know what I mean? It's a cool thing to be doing. I think it's a bigger deal for Blue Ridge to have us and Sick New World to have us.
I love the fact that they announced you guys first. You guys were the first band announced for the whole thing. That was cool, man. They've been so great, and I'm excited. You guys, I think we're gonna have a good time at that, man.
They'd also been asking us for years, and I'm always like, no, we're not ready yet.
Well, I'm glad you finally. We have Blue Ridge Rock Fest to blame or thank, however you look at it, for this whole Taproot revival thing, man. Because without that, it wouldn't have happened. I wasn't sitting here going, God, I'm going to get Taproot back together. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it was not. But seeing that happen and then us talking and connecting the way we did, that's what made it happen. So, yay, Taproot.
Yeah, and we had everything. I mean, because of that, we had Taylor lined up. We had all the things lined up already because we had a show. So now, we're making it work.
Yeah. So who's ready to check out Best of Besides Friday? So we got two things coming out Friday. We got Best of Besides coming out on Spotify and all the digital outlets. and VIP is coming out. Cinco de Mayo is a big day for us. So Friday, man, there's a pre-save link for VIP that we posted earlier in the week that you can go to your favorite digital outlet and go pre-save. You can also buy it on Bandcamp for the time being. I might take it down when it comes up everywhere else. I haven't decided yet, but so I'm not sure. But it's also Friday is Bandcamp Friday too. I don't know if you guys are all familiar with that, but basically it's the every like 6 months or so, 4 months, Bandcamp does a thing where all the money, Bandcamp obviously takes a little piece of everything the bands sell on there or the labels sell on there, but on Bandcamp Fridays they don't. So 100% of the proceeds go to the band. So if you want to, I was actually thinking about maybe doing a thing for Bandcamp Friday for Friday and maybe taking like some of the other beside stuff that we're not releasing yet and throw it up there just for the day. Give people one last chance to grab it before it goes back in the archive for 2 years. You know what I mean? So I was thinking
That's
about
interesting.
Yeah, I know, right? I was thinking about today. Like that might be kind of fun. Maybe throw like the gift stuff on there, the Our Long Road Home, the stuff that people really want. It's never been available digitally. We gave them that one day where they could just grab it and download it, and then it's going back in the archive for another year and a half till we release it after Scissors. So
Right.
I'm thinking about it. So you never know. There might be a little surprise in store for you guys on Friday on Bandcamp. We'll see.
It's the first time hearing of it, but I like it.
I know, right? Well, I just thought of it today. So, see, I just bring this shit on you live. I would say this is kind of like mine and Phil's private late night live stream. This is what me and Phil do. Like 10 o'clock at night, Phil gets home from jujitsu. I wind my day down. Then we sit on this, without an audience, though. And we just go over all the business stuff and all the Taproot stuff and bounce ideas off each other. So now we're staying true to that. And we're actually talking the business stuff that, just with an audience.
Yeah.
So,
and speaking of, we got to figure out talking to Taylor today. We were texting with me, Taylor, Steve, and Jared about inner monitors and all the Shure stuff we need to line up and stuff. So we'll have to talk this week for specifics. But he's getting the rig together from I can't remember the name of that. I'm not Allen and Heath. Is that what it is?
Allen and Heath,
maybe something like that. And we're talking about Shure stuff. But yeah, we need to know. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll get specific on it.
We got a lot of shit to figure out. These shows are like the first show's like what 4 months away now. 5? I mean, it's coming up quick.
The first show's like 3 months away, dude.
Okay, well, let's say 4 or 5.
Yeah,
feels better.
We're at 3 months from. Oh wait, 3.5. Well, it depends if. Yeah, about just over three months, I think.
Megan, we are coming to the Blue Ridge Rock Festival. They're playing. It's been announced for like 8 months now, but.
Actually, no, Tom. Just for you, Megan, we will come.
Yep, Megan, fine. Just right now, we just booked Taproot at the Blue Ridge Rock Fest.
Let's play Saturday. What do you think, Tom?
Fuck it. I'm in. Saturday is good. No, I tell you, let's not know what day we're playing for like 6 months and then just find out the day before. What's up, Ryan? We are doing good, man. We're just hanging out, waiting for Mr. Richards to make his appearance. He's supposed to be joining us at some point in this evening.
I haven't picked out my wardrobe just yet, Lee, but we're working on it.
Well, of course we have. It's going to be the white polyester fucking the white Dickies with white fucking windbreakers over it.
Yeah.
Pure white. That's how we're rolling.
None more white.
None more. Oh, I know. You
like the hat. Remember that hat you did? The white,
pretty white hat.
White hat.
It's a pretty white hat.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, I know.
Cool. White on white actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and it is a really cool hat. I dig it. I want to get one of those. I still haven't yet.
Yeah.
But eventually I will. Yeah, the snapback.
Oh, I forgot how fancy you are. Look at that.
Look at that.
Dude, I'm at the bottom.
I'm a fucking professional. And here now we can change it up.
It's funny, people don't know how to say victim I play. They're always like victim play, victim, like they don't know.
That's why I just say VIP.
Yeah.
I know. I know. Steve loves to confuse people with that,
It,
and he insists. He yells at me if I don't type those fucking backslashes and everything. So
it's
I
not even
have
the
to.
it's not even the normal slash. It's the other slash,
No,
right?
it's a backslash. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
the
like
backslash.
yeah, like not the slash we have by 5/5. It's the
No,
other one.
no,
Yeah,
it's
you're
the
like, where's
other one.
that one? Yeah.
No, no, but it's got to be. And he used to yell at me anytime. So our text conversations for a long time, like every I, he would make me type like that. And then eventually I said, "Fuck you, I'm not doing that anymore." I did. I played along for a while, and then I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't have time for this,
no,
Steve. I don't have
no,
time for your shenanigans, Steve Richards.
that's funny. I can see that though. That's hilarious.
Oh, let's see where we're at with these comments. Bucket list dream tour with your favorite band.
I feel like we've done all that. We've done all our bucket list bands. Let's see who have we not toured with.
I know you have.
I mean, I want to play a show with Nothing More. I think that'd be cool. I don't know if that's quite. I mean, I think that's very doable. I wouldn't put that quite in bucket list, right?
Bucket list, but it'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Tool.
Probably Metallica would be cool.
Tool and Metallica, and System of a Down. Why not? Let them know. Book it,
I
Tom.
will. Oh, I'm on it. Ohio. We'll be in Ohio a lot this year, like 4 shows.
Yeah.
Cleveland, the Winchester. I don't
Columbus.
have the dates in front of me.
Yeah.
Columbus and Cincinnati at the Blue Note. Well, Harrison technically.
Yeah.
And then I think we have. I think we have one more Ohio show that's not even announced yet.
Yeah, we're not supposed to say.
No. Hey, we can say that we have a show. We're just not saying what or where or anything else. So, I mean, look, there are a couple more shows that aren't announced. We'll say that. We're announcing another one next Wednesday. But look, at this point, we're not doing any more regions this year. It's not like we're going to pop up with another, we're doing 10 shows in Texas or Florida. Like, we're done. You know what I mean? There's a couple more one-offs that sort of work in between what we're doing. And, geographically, they're sort of in the same sort of areas, but a couple markets where we haven't hit yet. But there's a couple more. I think there's 3 or 4 more that we're announcing, and that's it. That's it. So get your tickets to these because that's fucking it.
That's it. Unless we add a couple more.
Well, that's what happens, though, man. It's like they just come to us, and Alex, the agent, comes to us or comes to me and goes, "Hey, you guys want to do this?" And then I go to Phil and go, "Hey, do we want to do this?" And then Phil goes to everybody else and goes, "Hey, do we want to do this?" And then he comes back to me and goes, "Yes" or "No." That's if you ever wondered how it works in Taproot, that's it. That's how it works.
Oh, speaking of Tom, speaking of business, Rob here, Rob Webb. I don't know how to say his last name. He's a videographer down here in Cincinnati. Awesome. He's gonna film our Cincinnati show and possibly some others if we can figure it out. So we'll have to talk.
Dude, that's great. I'm telling you, I really want to. A couple of these shows, probably like the first Machine Shop show, I want a live stream. I'm gonna figure out a way to do like a live stream. But yeah, I want to film some of these shows and do like a live DVD, which I think would be fucking awesome. A lot of people have asked about that, and I think that would be fucking rad. Like just film it. And look, we could even go back and like make it like an old school home video and like find old footage of the band and like old shit and put it in there, but then put that kind of in between like live shit from the like. Just as a fan, I love doing shit like that. Just from a purely, I spend a lot of my time interacting with Taproot fans, man, on Facebook, on Reddit, on everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I am probably more immersed in Taproot than you guys are, and I just
you are. Thank you for that.
Cool, hey man, that's what I do. That's what I've always done, man. Whether it was Chimera, whatever, that's what I always did was help bands stay engaged with their fans and figure out how to do it and figure out cool ways to make the connection between the two. And we're still doing that today, which I love, man.
And you know everything we know, so.
But wouldn't that be dope as fuck? Hi, Dilly, how are you? But I mean, dude, that's what the fuck is a DVD? It's like streaming, but on a disc. It's like Netflix. Imagine Netflix if it was on a CD.
But you can carry it everywhere you go.
But you can play it in your Xbox or your PlayStation.
As long as it's an older one.
Touche. Wow, that's a lot. Can I tell you this?
Yeah, Lee has been to a lot of shows, and he brings us hockey jerseys as well to sign.
I honestly don't think I've ever. I mean, other than like Ozfest and stuff, I don't think I've ever seen Taproot. I don't think I have. Yeah, I have. You guys played my show.
Of course, you have.
Of course, you played some of my shows. But I wish I'd have seen Taproot a lot more, man. It's funny. Like retroactively, you guys have become like my favorite band now.
Nice.
It's funny, but oh god, do you hear the puppy barking? Do you hear yelp, 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 yelp? There's puppies this big barking in the other room.
Oh yeah, that's right. How are those puppies doing?
They're the fucking cutest thing in the world, and I hate it. Wait, District 142.
We've heard of it.
We've heard of it. We have heard of that, and
we're in talks.
That might just be in your future, Brian. Brian actually was one of the gentlemen who helped bridge us with Eva Under Fire, who were on a bunch of our shows.
Oh, yeah?
So thank you for that. I love those guys, man. They're great. Glad we hooked up with them when we did, and we're able to get them on the shows. Hey, dude, how are you doing? So weird. I love all the random people that just show up. Like that's what I love about the internet and live streams. Like people just show up we haven't talked to in years, and they're like, "Yo!"
Heck yeah.
I know.
I was just talking to Sean May before this. I told him we're gonna have to get him on one of these days.
Oh, how is Sean doing?
He's good. He's working up the nerve to come tour with us.
Please. God, if we could get him away from making bases for a while.
Yeah.
He would be great. You gotta imagine having him as a tech.
That's the goal, man. Trying to convince him.
Yeah. I love Sean, man. Like even back in the Switch days, man, me and Sean always really figure it out. I'm talking to these other people who are supposed to be getting on here. So sorry, I'm doing my duties here.
It's funny, actually. Speaking of Sean, I remember talking to him, and he reminded me of who you were. Like before, like we had met obviously a few times, and then there'd been a space where I met all sorts of people at the beginning, right? And I didn't always remember everybody, but I obviously remembered you. And once he brought you up, it's like Tom. I'm like, he's like Tom knows everybody. I'm like, I don't know. And then we talked about you. I'm like, oh yeah, Tom. Of course I know Tom.
Well, yeah. You know why? You know why we never really connected back then was we're going to get some old school new metal here. You guys gather around, children, and I will tell you a story. So back in the day, I used to run a company called Loudside, which was basically, we had a website that was like Blabbermouth before Blabbermouth. It was like the new metal Blabbermouth before Blabbermouth ever existed, right? Before the PRP, before anything. So Loudside was huge. I mean, we moved boulders in the new metal world. Like it was crazy. And we had a street team company. So I helped launch the whole street team concept. I worked with, I did the street teams for Limp Bizkit and Flip Records and Cold, which is how I got that plaque and the Limp Bizkit plaque right here. And, a million records, right? And Taproot's manager was a gentleman named Bino, who also managed System of a Down, who originally, we were really tight with. And then he started a street team company and we were competitors. And then it was all out warfare. So that's why I was never really hip to or around Taproot, because at the time, me and Bino had beef. So we weren't really cool. It's funny, there was new metal beef. So, and then we patched it up one day and I saw him and we were all
good.
That's
what I had for dinner tonight, new metal beef.
New metal beef. But so that was why I wasn't really ever around you guys. And we weren't really, while I was around all the other new metal bands and all the other bands in that era, we never really connected much then until after you stopped working with Bino. Then that's when we started connecting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's also a weird kind of political music, especially back then in the major label days. Everything's super weird and fucking political. It's funny, even the street team thing was super fucking political. You know what I mean? It was like we were all fighting for the same records and the same stuff, and it's ridiculous now when I look back at it. Dude, Switched is the greatest band. I don't know if you guys know this, but I managed Switched. I got them signed to Immortal Records. So that's how I know Sean May. I worked with them through the first record. I'm the one who hired all the guys to produce that first record, Subject to Change. And so, yeah, I worked with Switched, Chimera, a billion other bands. But yeah, I fucking love Switched.
Well, speaking of our almost connections in the early days, we were just talking about this the other day about how one of our first tours is almost going to be with Hydro Vibe, Simon Says, and Hot
Sauce Johnson.
Johnson.
And that was my tour. It was so weird. Phil brought it up the other day. He said, yeah, because so my buddy Matt, who's going to come on with us next Tuesday, is a guitar player for a band called Hydro Vibe, who now he's out on tour with Seal as his guitar player. And so next week, Matt's going to come on with us. He's a good friend of mine and Phil's. And I was texting with him the other day. I'm like, dude, me and Phil are doing a live stream thing. You should jump on with us one of these days. And so he's like, how about next week? I'm like, all right, cool. So back in the day, I managed Hydro Vibe, and there was a band called Hot Sauce Johnson who were on, I think they were on Interscope. Well, we were working their record, and Simon Says, who was on Hollywood. So Simon Says couldn't get a tour, and so they asked me to put together a tour. So I put together this Simon Says, Hydro Vibe, Hot Sauce Johnson tour. And yeah, and then apparently Phil brings up, he goes, we're supposed to tour with Hydro Vibe. I'm like, really, when? He goes, the Simon Says, I'm like, and Hot Sauce. I'm like, dude, that was my tour. I put it together. I'm like, why didn't you? Like, I didn't have any recollection of Taproot being in the, when was that? Was that like pre-gift? Was that like before you were signed?
When Jared and or Steve jump on, if anybody else jumps on, we'll have to ask them. They might remember, because it feels super early on, right? Like,
it had to have been. It had to have been like, in the days of new metal beef with Fred Durst. I mean, it had to be in that era.
Yeah, know? I mean, if it was, do you remember the year?
I have no fuck. I mean, I could find out.
Yeah.
Whatever year that first Simon Says record came out, because that's when it was when that first record.
So then that was before we got signed.
It had to have been before you were signed. Yeah. How crazy, right? See, I could have jumped on that shit, and I could have gotten just think how much different history would be if you would have done that tour. Imagine the timeline. Imagine the timeline where I put you guys on that tour, and then I manage you, and I get you signed to a different label, and then you work with Loudside instead of Streetwise.
Yeah, Loudside blows up as big as Streetwise then. Yeah, Taproot blows up bigger than System of a Down.
Dude, those guys were great. The Bino was great.
Awesome.
System was super supportive in the early days of Loudside. Those guys were always great. I got nothing but love for Bino and Velvet Hammer. And it was just funny now to like reminisce about that and laugh about the goofy beef and the dumb shit. And
but Simon Says was awesome, man.
They were great, man.
We learned a lot from watching those guys live, man. They brought it. You know what I mean? Was it Zach, their guitarist, right? Yeah. Zach was a guitarist, I think.
Yeah.
And man, I'm blanking on all the other names. Mike was the drummer. I think Mike was also the bass player. And I can't remember the singer's name.
Dude, I can't even remember your name half the time. So.
But yeah, dude, they were great.
You're my only friend.
Yeah, yeah, we love those. We love those guys.
Man. I did too, though, man. You know, I was telling you this the other day, so it was funny. So that record, I remember my big contribution to Simon Says was when that record originally came out. I wonder if I can find it. Let me see. Maybe I can.
Reenact what you're talking about.
I'm gonna Google this here. Let me see. Simon Says Jumpstart. Okay, here we go. Jumpstart, album by Simon Says. So, all right, let's get over here. I'm gonna cover that up because you guys can't see that. No, what did I do? What happened? Oh my God. Okay, stop it. Go on the other monitor. Okay, we're still here. Okay, we're gonna present. Share screen, second monitor. Okay, so Jumpstart, album by Simon Says. When the album came out, this thing was the cover. It was a super boy band picture of them like this. Okay, this was the album cover for Jumpstart by Simon Says. On the inside, on the back side of the insert, was this really cool black and gray version. It didn't say Simon Says. It didn't say Jumpstart. They didn't look so... God, that takes me back. It's so nostalgic seeing that. Let me see if I can find the inside picture now. Let me see. Maybe if I Google image, go to the images. So the inside, let's see. Come on, have it. Don't ruin my story. Anyway, well, the inside was this really cool black and silver, like Black Album looking picture.
Can you say insert, maybe? Insert, would that help?
Yeah, let me see. Jumpstart insert. Let me see. Insert? No, insert. No dice. Well, anyway, it
Mm,
was this really cool black and white picture, right? And I said, look, this cover photo is turning people off. And it's so look at that. Look at that picture. Come on. That was their album cover. Mind you, they're on Hollywood Records, who are not a hip label. They were not a hip label whatsoever, right? So they
yeah,
didn't know. They had no idea how to market something like this. It was like
they are some
Disney
pretty boys in
label.
there though.
What was that?
They are.
They're handsome gentlemen. They're some cute boys. But the other picture was way harder. So I said,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I got them to take this picture right here, flip it over so that the album cover was this black and silver insert picture, and that's how they sold all the CDs. They flipped it over, repackaged it, and then put a sticker on it that said Simon Says Jumpstart. That was my big contribution. I don't know if going through all of that was worth that story, but
It would have been if we could have found the insert. We'll have to redo
right,
this.
I know.
We'll
Exactly.
have to find the CD and redo this story when you have it live, when you have it like
How the
in
hell
your
am I gonna
hand.
find what's a CD?
It's like a DVD.
Exactly. See, Jonathan gets it, and that's it. And I told Hollywood Records, I'm like, look, and you know, it's funny. I think their A&R guy was Rob Cavallo, if I'm not mistaken, the guy who produced Dookie for Green Day.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that was their A&R guy. And but yeah, it did. It totally looked like it. And they had no idea how to market that kind of record. So
Walker.
I kind of helped them figure it out a little bit. But yeah,
So I'm interrupting your story. Walker
nope,
Terry is our merch guy extraordinaire.
not to be confused with Walker Texas Ranger.
not to be confused with Terry Walker, who he always get announced with as when he was playing football. But no, he was a good friend of ours, a good friend of our friend Gary. They did dent removal together with Dent Wizards, but he ended up, like we've done a few times, brought out our good friends to come tour and do some shows with us. And he was our merch guy. And dude, he's just like, Southern accent, just, real, just cool, nice guy. And he sold the crap out of our merch.
That's awesome.
Just like people just, I don't know.
And he took the fucking dents out of the bus.
Yes.
Or more appropriately, probably van.
The van in those days. Yeah. The van in those days. Yeah. Yeah, man. Walker's great.
What's up, Kyle? How you doing? Well, what's up, Walker? How you doing, buddy?
Of course, Factory
We remember
81.
Factory 81.
Yeah. Detroit. What?
Phil,
Yeah.
the bass god. You are the bass god.
Rather than being the bull god.
I am the bull god. I am free. Okay. I'm gonna date myself, age myself, and embarrass myself. I love that record. The first fucking Kid Rock record when he was just grimy.
Yeah.
You know, and I hung out with him a bunch back then. He was so fucking cool. I hung out with Joe C a lot, and he was so fucking cool. Like, I love, still to this day, that first fucking Kid Rock record, man. Devil Without a Cause. Fuck, it's such a good record. I saw him a bunch of times later, and don't get me wrong, the show was fucking.
Oh yeah, he's great. He
put in an incredible show. Hot dancers and cages, and I mean, it was just a killer rock and roll show. But
he's an entertainer for sure.
Kid Rock. I saw Stained open for Kid Rock at the Roxy. If that gives you any idea how far back I'm going here. Stained opening for Kid Rock at the Roxy, which is like
nice.
300 people.
Right,
I'm assuming you guys have played at the Roxy at some point.
Yeah. We've sold that out a few times.
Yeah. Well, 3 nights in a row? No.
No.
Subject to change.
I think 2 nights though. I think we did do 2 nights.
Good. If it would have been me and not Bino, it would have been 3 nights.
Right. Shoot. Oh yeah. Speaking of Kid Rock, I used to work at a convenience store called Sergeant Pepper's in Ann Arbor. I think it's still there. It might have changed its name. I'm not sure. But Kid Rock's old drummer used to come in there before Stephanie, right? Is that her name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Before her, there's this guy that used to come in there, and he was Kid Rock's drummer. And this before Kid Rock was Kid Rock, right? I mean, he was up and coming. But
he was what's his name?
Bob
Ritchie.
No,
Bob Ritchie. He was Bob Ritchie.
Now you see, he was still Kid Rock, but like he wasn't as big. He didn't have the big albums and all that stuff yet. But me and this guy would always talk, and I'd be like, man, we're gonna do some shows together one day, and yeah. Then he was no longer the drummer.
Oh man, that would have been cool, you know.
Yeah.
And I was really good friends with, I knew his bass player. So funny enough, when and talking about Switch, so when we did the Switch deal with Immortal, so his bass player, so it's a really weird random story, but I was friends with the bass player's wife, and he kind of was doing the Uncle Cracker thing, and he was doing and he got hired as a really high up A&R guy at Hollywood Records, right? Basically, he came to me and said, I will give you, when we were shopping Switch, he came to me and said, I will give you a blank check, however much money you want for Switch to sign them to Hollywood Records. But after going through the Simon Says debacle and seeing that Hollywood did not know how to market a record like that, I declined and we signed to Immortal, you know. But and the Immortal deal was good. It was nothing. Shit. I think our budget for Subject to Change was still $500,000. I think the inside video was 250 fucking grand.
I
You
know, it's
know,
crazy. Look at
you
those old
remember that when
numbers.
videos were like $300,000? I mean,
Ridiculous.
we still had like $1 million deal. You know what I mean? It was, but it wasn't anything like that. Like Hollywood, he's like, "What do you want? 1, 2 million, 3 million?" He's like, "I'll give you a blank check," basically.
Wow.
And we just after everything I went through, it's funny enough. It all segues after everything I went through with Simon Says. I'm like, "There's no way in fuck I'm putting this band on Hollywood." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so either way, I guess maybe we should have taken the money and ran because Immortals didn't do shit with it either. They put out one single and then stopped fucking supporting it. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but then I got to put out the second record on my label, so it all worked out. And technically, yeah, Subject to Change, I reissued too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, puppies, come on! You hear that? You hear that? The yelping.
Oh, we do. Yes.
Good, good, good.
Yeah, that's all part of your plan.
Wow, where the hell is Steve Richards? All right, sorry guys, I got to go back to my texty for a second here. Ask.
Ask me a question, but Tom has to show it, so you can't ask me a question right now. I'll just start talking. Let's see. What else we got? Sean May makes cool bases. May custom bases. Check them out. I got nothing.
Here, you're talking about 36 Crazy Fists and being from Alaska.
I don't know. My brother.
You know, it's funny when they were doing stuff though. They are from Alaska technically, but they were in Portland when they were doing stuff, and I think they all live in Portland. It's not like they.
You know, we have never played Alaska.
Really?
It's one of those ones we were getting offers at one point, and it just never quite worked out. But I would like to play Alaska. I think that'd be cool.
It would be cool. We need to make. You hear that, Alaska? Let's make that happen.
I think there's even a club up there or something called Taproot or something. I know there's one down here, but I think there's one up there. Maybe I could be misremembering, but I think I would be cool to be Tap. But I think it just confused people. They wouldn't really go because they wouldn't be sure what's going on.
I know, right? Like, when we got to play in Alaska, we got to play in like no. I'm not talking like Anchorage or like a real estate. We got to play in like Nome or like one of those places like that port destination place on the National Geographic show, like something like that. Like
that we have to take a helicopter to play.
Yeah, exactly. We got to like fly in on a little like prop plane that only two of us can fit in. Ooh, Ghost in the Machine was fire, and I executive produced that record and put it out, and I still to this day, I got to put that record together just like Best of the Sides with Phil. I mean, same thing. Ghost in the Machine was kind of the same deal. Me and Ben going through old shit and going, okay, we got this and this, and there was a couple, those new songs that they did with Corey Lowry, and the stuff that ended up being the singles, and yeah, man, I really liked Ghost in the Machine.
Oh, there's a jiu-jitsu comment in there as well. Right before that.
I know. I'm going back to that, right?
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, purple. One stripe purple belt.
Yeah, talk about jiu-jitsu for a minute. Yeah. So Steve isn't feeling good. I think he might flake out on us. We might have to get him on next week. So, hey, hopefully we're entertaining you enough. I'll pretend I'm Steve.
Yeah. But no,
let me go get a White Claw.
I started jiu-jitsu back in like 2001 or 2, fairly early on. Not the earliest time, but fairly early on. Trained fairly consistently until about 2007 or 8. got my purple belt. Trained a little bit longer, then life just got busy. And then just recently with George Gurgel MMA here in Cincinnati, have gotten back into it. I've always been into it. It's always been like, I'm getting back in one of these days. And a few false starts along the way. But yeah, I finally found a new home, training consistently. And yeah, I got to show that, I got my first stripe on my purple belt a few weeks ago by my coach, black belt Brenton Petrie. And yeah, it feels good to be training again and being consistent with it, because I've been a purple belt for longer than most people have been. Some people have been alive. Like like, what is that, 16 years?
That's crazy.
And it'll be more. It'll probably be closer to 20. Well, hopefully sooner. Hopefully I get my brown belt within the next couple of years, 2-3 years.
See, maybe we should have some kind of like jiu-jitsu competition on the tour for free tickets or something. If you can kick Phil's ass, you get in the show for free.
We want to be able to give away these tickets though, and no one's going to win one if we do that.
I know. Then they got to buy them. We don't want to give away the tickets. We want to sell them.
Touche.
What up, dude?
Now we got Alfonso from Heartsick. He's also a purple belt, I believe. And me and him are going to roll probably in before the Flint shows. That's somewhere, and try to figure it out. So, formerly his former band No Life is where I know him from. But yeah, Heartsick's got some great stuff.
Yeah,
knocked loose.
Hey, tell you what, I had Five Finger Death Punch. I used to run this little bar in Green Bay. I had Five Finger Death Punch play there. There was 32 people there. I lost money on a Five Finger Death Punch show. Now they're fucking opening for Metallica in stadiums, and they're the like second or third probably biggest fucking band in the world, whatever you want to, new metal, rock, hard rock, you know. So I've had a lot of crazy experiences like that where I've seen, I mean, you know, I you know, how many
Speaking of jiu-jitsu, Five Finger Death Punch's guitarist Zoltan is a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, yes, he is. And Ghost Machine is better than both of them, for the record. I don't know if you guys were ever hip to Ghost Machine, which was Ivan's band that I put out the record for. So basically, when Motograder broke up, Ivan started Ghost Machine, and then I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars putting out their record on Corporate Punishment. And the day the record came out, Ivan quit the band to join Five Finger Death Punch. So, but it was awesome, dude. It was like Depeche Mode, Nine Inch Nails, Meat Slay. It was, you know, it was when Ivan first started doing the vocal style that he really became known for in Death Punch. But super fucking dope, man. Super dope, but a little more kind of like sexy, industrial fucking, you know, it was cool. It was super cool.
Nice.
Favorite Zingerman's sandwich? I don't even know what that is.
Zingerman's is a deli in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Oh, well, what is your favorite sandwich from Zingerman's?
I never really went there much, so I can't say. Yeah, probably some sort of pastrami.
I've never even been to Ann Arbor, so I have an excuse. But you,
I just went to college there, man. I don't know. I'm not from there.
Where are you from?
I'm from all over. My dad was Air Force, so I was born in Colorado. Traveled all over the place every 2 or 3 years. Lived in Japan for a while. Lived in North Dakota. Lived in New York. Yeah, all over Nebraska.
You get around.
England. I lived in England for a while.
That's awesome. Chicago. When are you going back to Chicago? You're not. Joliet, the Forge. I don't know. All these show dates are in the pinned post on the Taproot page. So we're playing at the Forge in Joliet, and we were playing in Belvedere, but unfortunately the Apollo Theater basically got destroyed by a tornado, and there was a huge, horrible tragedy there. So the show got moved up the road to Route 20 in Racine. So if you live in Chicago and you want to see Taproot, you're going to have to either drive 45 minutes to Racine or an hour, whatever it is, to Joliet, because that's where we're playing. Dr. Stan, how are you doing? Man, it's good to talk to you. Stan was an awesome friend who had come out to shows, and he's a chiropractor in Detroit. And every time we'd hang out in Detroit, we'd go hang out with him. And when I was sick and I needed antibiotics and shit on the road, he'd always like call him in for me.
Nice.
He's kind of my physician. He's the rock and roll. He's the rock doc, So he's awesome, man. What's up, Dr. Stan? Thank you again for taking good care of me. I got really sick a bunch of times, and I'm still here because of Dr. Stan.
All right.
There you go. October 7th in Joliet. Yeah, I should actually have this up in front of. I'm going to pull up the tour date.
Yeah, that'd be smart. I need to do the same.
I know, right? I'm not that smart. Let's see. Here we go. I just posted them today, too, by the way. I just posted them earlier. Funny, I posted, just so you can all complain and ask us why Taproot is not playing in your city. Here are all of the dates.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Here you go. You guys want to see
no,
the
I
shows?
can't do it. Shoot, I can't do it.
Here you go. You want to see the screen, the shows? Here you go. Here are the dates. You can't even really see that. Let's see. 8/18, the Northwoods Rock Rally in Glen Flora, Wisconsin. 9/9, Blue Ridge Rock Fest. Flint, Michigan, sold out. 3 nights at the Machine Shop. October 6th, Racine at Route 20. October 7th, the Joliet, the Forge. 10/13, Green Bay, my hometown, at the Epic Event Center. The 14th in Harrison, which is Cincinnati, at the Blue Note. The 21st in Columbus at the King of Clubs. 22nd in Cleveland, Lakewood at the Winchester, which is getting dangerously close to selling out. If you want to see Taproot in Cleveland, get your tickets now. November 3rd, Hampton Beach at Wally's. November 4th, we're going to be celebrating my birthday at the Gramercy Theater in New York City. The 17th, Grand Rapids at Elevation. And those of you who missed out on Flint, Grand Rapids is going to be your chance. And then the 18th at the Eclectic Room in Angola, Indiana. And of course, the VIP experience is available at taprootvip.com. So, brought to you by THC Music, Volatile, Skateboards and Merchandise, TKO, the Kirby Organization, our fine booking agent, Gibson Guitars, Mesa, Seymour Duncan, Yamaha, Tech 21, GHS, and Shure. There you go. There you have it. Oh, wait, Phil's. Hey, sorry. It's Phil. He's back.
Hey, sorry.
I miss you too, buddy. You should definitely hit me up. Shoot me an email or something, man. I would love to catch up with you. Shoot me an email or something, or a text. I think I'll shoot you a text. I think I still have your number. Mine's still the same. Nothing's changed. Who's playing guitar?
Taylor, the great Taylor Roberts. Taylor's an old friend of ours from. Let's see, we met him in 2012 or 13. His band opened up for us. We saw him at CPR Fest again and made good friends, brought this band out on tour with us. And then he joined a band with our newest guitarist, Dave Coughlin, called Riding with Killers. And then Dave joined Sponge. And yeah, Taylor's awesome. And then Taylor joined Taproot.
Yep. So it's all a weird.
Yeah. Check him out though. Yeah.
And Taylor's awesome, man. Taylor's awesome. I'm so excited to see you guys with him. I wasn't ever really that close with Nothing Face. I worked with them a little bit. They were cool dudes though, man. I really, really liked that band and liked those guys. Will there ever be an Asian You're in the future plan? Well, for Phil there is. I mean,
an Asian tour, I assume that means.
I know. I just thought it was
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to Thom a couple of weeks ago about wanting to do Japan. I don't know if the other guys want to do Japan because it's a long flight and everything. But I think we went there before with Disturbed on our Around the World tour, and I would love to play there again. It was such a good time.
I know, and it's such a. I still don't know if I can get into Japan. I had a tour there back in
literally.
I don't know if I can get into the country because of my criminal record. I'm a ne'er-do-well marijuana abuser, so a couple of years ago back before I was in a band a couple of years ago and touring the world, and we actually had a Japanese tour scheduled and Australia. And we were working on getting our visas, and it all got canceled by COVID. So I'd never found out if I could get into the country or not. I think Yeah, all my shit's misdemeanors, but there's certain things that they'll still preclude you from entering the country. It's insane. It's insane. Like certain
Yeah,
marijuana offenses and certain ridiculous things that you just cannot get into the country,
they are
regardless.
they are not okay with that there. So funny story. When we went to Japan, we were going through customs and the whole thing, and they take our drum tech, who well, at the time I think he was the only one in our band that smoked anything, right? And they just could kind of I don't see it on him, I guess. And so they took him to a separate room to search him, but they're going through my bag, and I
And they
had
found
never
your stash of pure China white heroin.
right. Well, I of all the people, I was not the person that would have anything. And but what's funny is, and actually, it's funny I have this in my pocket right now. I carry around napkins sometimes, right, just in my pockets in case I need to wipe something up or blow my nose or something. And so they're going through my stuff, and they're asking you. I have this like little sheet of like guns and drugs on it, right? And they go, "You have this, right? You have some of these, you know?" And you're like, "Nope, nope." And they're like trying to get you to say yes, like, yeah, yeah. And you're like, no, no. And they're going through my stuff, and they reach into my pockets, and they find this little thing like this, and everyone gets so excited, like, oh, 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 and everyone comes around, and they open it up, and there's nothing in it. I hadn't even blown my nose in it or anything. It's literally just
I wish you would have.
yeah,
It
I
would have
know, it
been
would
way
have been
more
funny, right?
rewarding.
Yeah.
So it was like a big snot rocket in there.
They were so excited to put me in jail for a really long time.
And they don't fucking. And the funny thing is, I don't even really smoke any. Like I don't do anything. I'm old and boring. I had heart failure 2 years ago. Like I don't even drink energy drinks anymore. You know what I mean? Like yeah. But yeah, it's funny. So some of my previous criminal activity precludes me from getting into certain countries. So rock and roll,
Hell yeah.
let's rock and roll though, man. I mean, look, if but yeah. So I don't know if we ever go to Japan. I don't know if I'll be able to get in. I'll figure it out. You can sneak me in your luggage in a napkin.
It's funny. Some countries just have their strict, like, getting into Canada if you have a DUI. Biggest pain in the butt. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that personally, but I know other people that do.
But Epic is a great venue, man. So that's kind of my hometown venue. I live in Green Bay, and for years we needed a great venue, and they opened the Epic, and yeah, it's a wonderful place, man. I'm so excited to have you guys here and do that show. And I was there with Seven Dust and Non-Point on New Year's. I was there with Fear Factory and Static X a couple months ago. It's really a great venue, a great fucking hang. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for you guys to be here, and I get to go to Michigan and do your hang. I love the Machine Shop too. I haven't been in a couple years.
Yeah, Green Bay was the first show booked after the Machine Shop, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But ironically enough, Pittsburgh. Are you still in Pittsburgh, Chad? If you are, you might be excited. Yep, all good.
Yeah.
Definitely good.
Yeah. We're still. He's just busy with work and family and all that stuff, and he just couldn't dedicate the time. And also living in Wisconsin. The thing with Taylor, Taylor honestly was like I've been as far as people that could have been in the band, he's always been on that list, right? And then once he moved to Michigan, it was sort of a no-brainer. Like, it's just convenient now, and he's phenomenal. So it's like those two things just kind of put him top of the list.
Oh yeah, it's all good. Lizzie was in here last week, actually, in the chat when me and Phil did this, and yeah, I mean, he's it was basically his decision to not do it anymore, right? He was just kind of like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
My rap sheet you just did, man. My rap sheet's pretty fucking boring, actually. Some weed nonsense, and we're not gonna go to Toledo. I mean, look, no offense, we're playing in Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati. I mean, Toledo's an hour from Cleveland. None of these shows, like, there's a couple of them that by accident are an hour or two from other places, but again, we're trying to get to as many people as we can. So and we've been kind of saying this from the beginning. It's like people go, oh, why aren't you coming to this? Like when we were in Green Bay, they were like, oh, why aren't you coming to Milwaukee? It's like, dude, I live in Green Bay. 80% of the shows I have to drive to Milwaukee for, especially for Epic. Like, drive your fucking car an hour and a half and go to the show if you want to see the band. Like, people just expect you to go to every market, and bands aren't doing that anymore. Like this, people don't understand. Like,
We're certainly
it,
not.
I know, like people just don't understand. This is like such a limited tour and such a limited thing that it's a miracle it even happened, and we're squeezing in every market we can. And we went from like, okay, we'll do one show to we'll do a couple shows to we'll do 6 shows to now it's up to like what 15, and
Something
we're
like
still
that.
we're trying so hard to add more shows, and I'm trying so hard to get these guys to do more shows, but there's only so many we can do with you guys, and the guys will have day jobs now, and this isn't like it's not 2000 where
Yeah.
you guys can just drop everything and jump in a van and just go on tour and stay there. You have families and jobs and houses and mortgages and responsibilities, and it's a
Limited
total,
PTO.
yeah, well, that's it. I mean, literally, like, I mean, basically, this is the guys using their time off from work to go play as many shows as we can on weekends. That's pretty much what we're doing. That's why they're all in the areas they're in, because that's what we can get to in a day. You know what I mean? We can't drive for. You got to realize the way the country's set out. Most bands when they do big tours lose money. Like when you go from the Midwest to Texas, that's like a 2-day fucking drive. You know what I mean? Like most of these drives are all pretty quick. They're all, that's why we're not doing the West Coast. That's why we're not really in Florida. Like from anywhere over here to Florida is a 24-hour drive. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's what people don't get. Like that's why this is routed the way it is. We're just doing what we can, kind of close to, you know, where you guys live. It's obviously all kind of geocentric to where you guys live and where we can get within a reasonable drive from where you guys live too. People don't get that. I don't think sometimes.
Couldn't say it better myself. And yeah, it is tough. I mean, just with the distance of places, we would love to play. My brother's in Texas. I would love to be down in Texas.
Yeah.
But
It's
maybe
just
one of
not
these days.
exactly. It's just like certain places aren't practical, man. Like Florida is like a 24-hour fucking drive. Like Texas is a 24-hour drive. Like the West Coast is a 2-day drive. You know what I mean? Like it's just not. And look, and we're working on maybe doing Texas or California or a couple regions next year. As fly-ins maybe. But again, even that's not that practical. You know what I mean? Like we're trying to figure it out the best we can. I'm trying to encourage these guys the best I can, and hopefully there's a lot of Taproot fans here. Pittsburgh, well, Cleveland right now, but maybe Pittsburgh. You never know. Pay attention. Good, Michael. Good. Yeah, and look, and we'd love to be able to do every little market, man. Like, look, we'd be rich if Taproot could go and do every little city in America. Like, it would be amazing. Like, the shows are great, they're selling great. It's a really great time, man. It's like a resurgence, and people are super interested, and venues are. We've turned down more shows and tours than we've taken. You know what I mean? Just because we can't do it all. I wish as the manager, I wish we fucking could. I wish they didn't have jobs. I wish, we could just go and we could just do Taproot all the time, full time, like fucking great. You know what I mean? That would be wonderful for me, but it's just not, unfortunately, the practicality where the guys are in their lives right now.
Yeah. I mean, unless we're at that level where I can bring my wife and kids with me, it's not happening.
I know, exactly. Unfortunately, unless you're at the Aerosmith Motley Crue level where you can be in 3 different buses with your family, but we're not there. We're in the middle. We're at the middle ground where like it's good and it's good, but we can't really rock anything more than we're doing, man. It's just legit. Now, touring has never been more expensive. Everything's expensive: vehicles, gas,
Yeah.
lodging, everything. Everything is 5 times more expensive than it was even 3-4 years ago. So we're doing the best we can. If we're not getting to your city, sorry. If we get somewhere close, please, somewhere within a reasonable drive. But I even know these shows, man. There's so many people that are coming to the Machine Shop or these other shows from like New Mexico or Europe, or I mean, it's really kind of fucking crazy.
It is. It's been a, like I would keep saying, it's been a wild ride for both us and it seems like our fans. But what was I going to say? Oh, that's also why we're doing it on Fridays and Saturdays, right? So people have time to take off or do whatever they need to do to get to some of these farther shows. It's on days that you don't have to work the next day.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, I didn't even notice your little bubble until like a couple minutes later, and then
I switched browsers. I was gonna do something, but I ended up not. So
okay, well, good. Well, hey, welcome back in whatever browser you're in, and everybody who's just joining us, everybody who's been here. I don't even know how many people are here. There's no gauge. Oh yeah, it does.
Does it tell you?
Somebody's making angry faces at us. Uh-oh. Man, I wish we could have our Taproot logo. It's just black, and the Taproot logo doesn't work with just the two of us because you can't see it.
Oh, that's what it was. So
because otherwise there's another window there, so it's over somebody else's window. Let's see, maybe I can stack the window different. No, I don't think so. Oh well, we get my logo. We'll deal with it. No. That's me. Taproot's famous enough. Here you go. We'll give Volatile some love for a minute.
There you go. Yeah.
Did you guys all pick up your Volatile Taproot skateboards?
Still waiting on mine in the mail.
I know. You'll get them eventually. So
those look sweet though, man. That's what started this whole thing.
I know it does. This is all because of skateboards, man. Taproot skateboards started this whole dumb thing.
Chatting on Facebook Messenger, you're just like, oh, let me do this real quick. Yeah. Just like sending me different versions of it. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and then Steve signed off on it, and they're like, hey, let's do some T-shirts. Hey, let's.
Well, also showed how. Really, it showed me how well we worked together because we had some bouncing ideas off each other, and just within 20, 30 minutes, we had all the things together.
Yeah, and it's still. And now look how far we've come in like 4 months, man. This all happened in like 4 months. We went from absolutely nothing to like 20 shows booked and the resurgence of Taproot.
Records out, Best of Besides out.
Oh.
Yeah, Thom is the one to thank for Best of Besides because he insisted that we do something with it. And I was like, what?
I was like, this is so dumb. You guys have this amazing shit. You never did anything with it. We're doing something with it. So we did. And now Friday, all digital outlets.
Yeah.
You can get your own copy. Well, you can listen to it over and over and over and over again. Hey, we're working around their work schedule. I'm the only one who doesn't have a work schedule to work around, literally. I'm the only one. Yeah, best Madison, Wisconsin memory.
Madison. We've had lots of shows in Madison. It's a lot. I know I had one of my birthdays in Madison. We ate at a hibachi place.
Dude, I totally forgot about this. Adam was stoked with the Record Store Day release.
Oh, yeah. You got a copy.
I got today. Looky what I got today. And it was so funny. So somebody pointed this out. Is it inside? Because I'm not opening the fucking thing. Well, somebody posted a picture. And I don't know if it was like that on the original Welcome, but inside it says like guitar, Steve Richards. It doesn't say vocals. So I don't know if they redid the artwork and they fucked up when they did this, or if the original one was like that and they just copied the original credits. But it doesn't say vocals. Like Steve.
That's what Steve's joke was today. He made a joke on text and said, who did vocals on Welcome? And I'm like, I don't know what he's trying to say.
That's what it was, because somebody posted a picture of it, and it must be inside. Look, executive producer David Benaviste. At least Bino got his credit still. So
no vocals for Steve. That's funny.
I know it doesn't. It just says Steve Richards guitar. So and somebody posted it in Taproot Worldwide, and then Steve commented on it and tagged me in it, and we were laughing about it. So yeah, there's no vocals, and I'm not going to open the fucking thing, but it must be inside. But yeah, it looks fucking cool. Limited blue vinyl pressing, limited to 1,600 copies. The top what was that?
I was gonna say, if we missed that in the original Welcome, dude, that's pretty sad.
I know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have the original one. So does anybody have an original Welcome that they can look at? One of you guys has to have a Welcome CD.
Randy.
Connecticut. Well, we're coming to New Hampshire. Isn't that close enough to Connecticut?
Kind of, right?
I
Yeah.
mean, in the same. I mean, that's what I was just talking about people are gonna have to drive a little bit.
Especially the East Coasters, man. Everything's close by on the East Coast.
Yeah,
Like 13 states all within like 2 hour drives.
exactly. I mean, Connecticut, New York City. I used to when we rehearsed. We used to rehearse in Connecticut, and I would drive into New York City every fucking day, go have meetings, and then go back to Connecticut in the evenings to rehearse. Like, if you're in Connecticut, go to the New York City show. Go to, like, I mean, that's the great thing about the East Coast is everything's right there. I mean, that's what we were just explaining before. Like, we're not going to be able to get to every little city that's an hour from another one. It's like you might have to drive a little bit. I wish we could. I mean, I wish we could just do show after show after show, but New York City and New Hampshire are definitely the closest we're going to get to. I think New York City is probably way closer to Connecticut than New Hampshire. I think. I think.
It's funny because all it's what you're used to. Like if you're in the Midwest, we're used to driving multiple hours to get anywhere, right?
Yeah.
But I remember even when we played England, we'd be playing like an hour from somewhere, and be like, oh no, that's a whole hour away. That's 2 hours away. I'm like, that's nothing.
I
Over
live
there,
in
it's like
Green Bay.
Texas. They act like you were ask them to drive to Texas.
Oh, I know. I live in Green Bay, which is like a secondary, tertiary market, and it always was. Okay. So I've always had to drive to either Milwaukee or Chicago to go to shows. Milwaukee's an hour and a half, and Chicago's like 3. I still have to drive to Chicago to go to shows. Next week, I'm going to see Seal. I think you're coming to meet me there. I'm driving to Chicago.
Yeah, 2 weeks, yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm driving to Chicago for that. Just last week, I don't remember what. I went to Chicago for a show. Like, I always have to drive 1.5 to 3 hours. I went and saw Jerry Cantrell. My buddy Gil Sharon plays drums for Jerry Cantrell. I mean, they didn't come to Green Bay. They came to Milwaukee. I drove an hour and a half, 3-4 hours round. No, to Milwaukee from where I live now. I actually live an hour outside of Green Bay now. So it's like, 3 hours to Milwaukee, 6 hours round trip. Chicago's like 10 hours round trip. So I don't mean to sound like all mean and aggressive, but yeah, I mean, but come, but it just, that's the thing. And this isn't aimed at you at all, Michelle. It's just like a general thing with people. Cause like they do that. They'll be like, like the other day I saw somebody say playing Fort Wayne. I'm like, dude, we're playing in Angola, 45 minutes from Fort Wayne. Like, and they posted on the AdNet where they clearly saw we were playing in Angola. Like, we couldn't even play. Like, there's such thing as a radius clause. When you play a show, you can't play another show within like generally a 60-mile, 90-mile or more radius, like an hour and a half to 2 hour radius generally anyway. You can't. You know what I mean? Like, it's what's so funny is it's like, there's people don't get that. Like but why would somebody when we're playing in Angola, Indiana, which is literally 45 minutes from Fort Wayne, why would they go and play in Fort Wayne?
Yeah. Again, it's just what you're used to. And I mean, honestly, when I look back on what we do to play shows, like we would, because of those radius clauses, we're driving 3 to 6 hours a night. You know what I mean? Playing a show, drive all night, get to the next show. And I remember one year when we did that Boy Hits Car tour, we did 2 months on that run, and I did good 95% of the driving. I probably put close to 100,000 miles on the van. Yeah. And that was me driving.
Probably the worst experience of your life, other than the hour a night you guys were on stage, and that's what
and the 45 minutes I got to see Boy Hits Car every night.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly. People don't realize how miserable that was, and you guys did that for years and years and years and years, and now we're older, and you're older, and we're doing this a little bit smarter, which means people are going to have to drive a little farther for the shows. You're just not gonna. People need to understand you're not gonna get to every market. We're getting as many as we can, but yeah, the Fort Wayne Angola thing really blew my mind.
Okay, I think we beat this horse to death.
Have we been?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Jonathan's flying in for the weekend.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, right. Favorite song off of Our Long Road Home.
Let's see. There's a few.
And anyway, sorry, Michelle, I wasn't trying to bum you out, and I'm so stoked you're stoked they're back. And that wasn't even aimed at you. It was just kind of triggered me on like everybody else. So, but thank you. That's very sweet. And I wish we could go to Connecticut, but hopefully we'll see you in New York City or somewhere else. So anyway, back to favorite song off Our Long Road Home.
I have a few. Karma Way is up there. You're Not Home Tonight is up there. Be the One is up there. There's quite a few good ones now. I'm thinking about it. Take It is a good one. What's the first track on there? We always called it. What do we call it even? What was that first song? Anyone, first song.
I don't have Our Long Road Home.
We always called it Basher, but I can't remember the real name of the song.
So let me ask you this: when you put that record out and everybody shit on it, did you ever think it would be your most talked about record and most asked about? And like literally, people talk about that record more than any other Taproot record and all of this stuff that we do.
I think that's a sign of a like, I guess, I don't know, potentially a great record, right? Because it could be a crappy record, right? But as far as one that just kind of simmered, I think it just kind of simmered. It was different, and people just didn't get it right away, right? It was just different for us. But looking back, when you go back to it, it has some great songs on there, I think it really fits the, I remember Mike and I worked on that album art. The album art's some of my favorite. It's just all our old pictures from like our family pictures. Like it's our Long Road Home, kind of like very home oriented. We designed the cover, we designed the inside, putting all the Polaroid, what made it look like a bunch of Polaroid pictures that's kind of spread on a table of all our different families. And I have a lot of good memories of that record.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was just kind of ahead of its time, and I think it was kind of ahead of your fans. They were, expecting, more of a Taproot record, which it's really not per se. I mean, a Taproot record is a subjective term, but like what people expect from a Taproot record,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, a Taproot record's whatever the hell you guys want, whatever the hell Steve writes, you know what I mean? But people's expectation of a By the way, I'm opening it just so we can see it. I wasn't going to, but damn it, I have to. But I think it just didn't meet people's expectations of a Taproot record at the time. And I think your fans have aged and matured, and their musical tastes have probably aged and matured, and, their expectations have changed and what they like. Oh, yeah, here we go. Look. Who's the singer? Steve Richards, guitar. There's no...
That's too funny.
No vocals. No vocals.
Who is the singer? Who is the singer?
It's the instrumental version of. I want to see what it looks like. That's pretty. It's a nice looking record.
Nice.
Yeah. Taproot. This is the first Taproot vinyl I own. I'm so proud of myself. So there you go. We got to see it with our own eyes. So there's no vocals on this version.
Yeah. And did you see the comment? Someone said it is in the original. We do have it.
Yeah, nope, you did. So this was not on you. This was on them. But whatever. They did a good job otherwise. So
yeah.
It's funny. I'm going to point that out to them tomorrow. I'm going to send them an email and point out. So all of our guests flaked out on us tonight, man.
See, I almost told Sean May to sign on today, but I was like, we have like 2 or 3 people on there. We can't have Sean May on tonight.
Well, you should have. See, that's why I always tell a bunch of people, backup people, and even then, like people don't show up sometimes. See, we should have had Sean. That's all right. That's always fun just talking to you. Me and you got this shit covered. Everybody else is just bonus. I'll get Steve on next week.
I'm
going to catch up on these comments. Drive 2 hours, which is pretty doable. Exactly. And we're playing in Cincy, which is great. And it's the same thing. I know. Louisville. Yeah, there used to be a lot of great clubs in Louisville. It seems like there's not a whole. We were talking about trying to do a show in Louisville, and we just couldn't even get one together, I mean, Cincinnati is probably the closest we could do.
Path Less Taken. That's what it is. Path Less Taken.
There you go. That must have been around then.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I'm working on it.
Good. Well, see, she's going to New Hampshire, so good.
Oh, wow. Nice.
A lot of people still talking about Colin makes me cry because I listen to it every day at Starbucks. So is it the Starbucks that makes you cry? Or I'm trying to unpack this. So Colin,
it's every day you have to hear it?
Yeah, because you have to hear it. Is it like forced on you at Starbucks? Like they just play it over and over again? Or shit, dude, I'm almost 50. Ugh. Where's Jared? I don't know. Where's Jared? Patio slave. What's up, gentlemen?
Oh yeah. And
Okay,
got a
good.
lot of good responses from the Patio Slave podcast I did.
Right,
Those
aren't the
guys are
podcasts
fun to
fun? I'm
talk to.
glad. I'm glad you guys are doing those, man. I'm glad you're doing the interviews, and then we do these things, and we talk about dumb shit in here. We don't ever like, I tell stories about new metal beef. Dude, did I
That's what I
ever?
want it for, though. I want this as like a, part of me, the selfish part of me, or whatever you want to call it, wants this for posterity, for some of these history stories that come out
Yeah,
that, otherwise I'm never going to talk about it,
I
or
know.
at
I
least
love
talk
it.
about
I
it to our
love it.
friends, these are the kind of just shoot back and forth. And, like when we had Jared on, we were able to bounce a lot of things because,
Yeah.
he was there with me for, I guess,
Well, and it's
what?
funny because when we do this privately, we do the same fucking thing
Yeah,
though. Like
I
it's the
know.
same stream of consciousness. We get on all these old 2000s like stories and connections and dumb things, and I'm
Yeah.
like, did I ever tell you about the time I almost got in a fight with Fred Durst? Or you know what I mean? And it just snowballed. Did I? Did I ever tell you about the time I almost got in a fight with Fred Durst?
No, I thought that was us.
Really? No, almost got in a legitimate fist fight with Fred Durst.
What happened?
You just talked shit on your answering machine.
What happened?
This is what I was laughing at.
I was going to make a comment about as many kids. Yes, well done, John.
Yeah, Jared is like Little House on the Prairie, but that's awesome, though, man. That's his journey. My kids are around here doing deviant shit, probably. You have a hard drive of footage?
Randy's recorded a lot of our stuff, and I got to reach out to him. I've been meaning to.
Yeah, we got to talk. See, tie us all into email Phil and get us all on a thread. I'm serious. I want to do. I've talked about this before about wanting to do like a Taproot DVD, like a just of old shit. But man, imagine if we could do a cool live DVD from this new fucking tour and put a bunch of old.
Randy's in the Detroit area. I forget exactly where he lives, but yeah, he's recorded a lot of our stuff. Most of our Michigan stuff. He's put on some of our videos online.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Angel is on Best of Besides. It will be out Friday on all digital outlets.
Oh, extended bridge version. Yeah. I'm so eager.
Extended bride version. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's an interesting bridge. I don't know if it fits completely, which is why we cut it out. But it's very angry.
I don't even have time to start on this one, Rob. Like, I don't know. I'm an eater, and one of my favorite things is eating on the road. I tell you, I love convenience stores. I love Sheetz. I love Wawa. I love a good convenience store, man. Like
good. Yeah, Sheetz is a good one.
Good, like Sheetz, Wawa, like where they have Quick Trip. Not so. There's a Quick Trip in Wisconsin with a K, which is okay. I think it's kind of subpar. Quick Trip with a Q on the West Coast and South is fucking phenomenal. Like when I go to Arizona, like I love Quick Trip. Like and there's also Casey's is fucking phenomenal.
Come and Go.
Come and Go is okay, but they don't. I just go to Come and Go for the jokes and the lighters.
I know, right?
But their food is, But I mean, these ones are all like serious culinary pit stops. I mean, maybe not for you, Mr. Super Divine Keto Eater. You probably wouldn't be into any of this. Which, by the way, I'm doing it again, man. I'm low carbon it up.
Nice, well done. So on the road with Taproot, like the guys are like that. They are like, a hot dog from the convenience store, whatever. Not even the good stuff you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Just whatever hot dog, Subway, whatever nonsense. And I'm like,
I don't do that,
guys. And so I would generally stop on my own, like drag the guy somewhere else. Like I'm stopping at least Chipotle, you're right, for myself. But when I
look at Mr. Fancy, big budget going to Chipotle.
You spend about the same amount of money. They just buy more nonsense. But when I toured Smile Empty Soul, those guys like to eat good food, and we would go to like whatever place we're in. We'd always look for like the restaurants that were on like from the Food Network channel, like anything that was like Food Network.
You weren't going to Cracker Barrel?
No. And we did like the barbecue tour, and we look for the good barbecue places, and like all around, man. I gained 30 pounds on tour with those guys, and I don't gain weight.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, mind you, I was like, I had a screw it. I'm just going to eat whatever on this tour just for fun. Just kind of see if I could gain weight. And yeah, I gained 30 pounds in 2 months. I've never gained 30 pounds in my life combined, I don't think.
I couldn't even imagine you 30 pounds heavier. Holy shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I love touring with those guys.
You definitely did not have a smile, empty stomach.
No, it was not empty at all.
Well, I can't let you tour with them anymore for sure because I can't, you know.
Well, because also I'm part of it wasn't just eating out. It was just like, you know, after the show, they'd be like, hey, you know, we'd be playing places that would have like a, you know, bar food and stuff. So like, hey, what do you want for after the show? I'm like, oh, a cheeseburger, oh, a pizza, whatever. And so we just doing whatever. And that's when I drank as well.
Oh, wow.
Back when I still used to drink a little bit. So between all that stuff, yeah.
Oh, how things have changed, man.
Oh, yeah.
So who wants to hear my Fred Durst story?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's always talking about Steve's. Everybody's always talking about your Fred Durst story. You want to hear my encounter with the man in the red hat? So, sure. This was when Limp Bizkit was recording Significant Other. They all, so this is probably after your encounter. You guys had probably already, Fred already broke up with you guys at that point, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's pretty early.
I think your shit with them was even like on the first. They weren't even that big when he talked all that shit to you. Like, it's funny, they weren't even that big, and look how big his fucking ego was. Like, they weren't even that big yet. Like, that was probably even before Faith, you know, or right around when it.
No, it's a Nookie time.
Oh, was it?
I mean, it spanned that whole era, right? When the first record came out, all the way to when the second record came out.
Okay. Well, there you go. So, well, when they were making the second record, the one with Nookie on it, I went. So me and Eric, my partner from Loudside, and do you remember Peter Katzis, Korn's manager, Limp Bizkit's manager? Did you ever meet Pete?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever knew him, but
he was a very powerful guy in the business at the time. He managed Korn, he managed Limp Bizkit, he managed fucking everybody. He owned the firm, him and Jeff Klotnitz.
Okay.
So me and Fred and Eric and Katzis went and ate breakfast at Swingers some Saturday morning, and then we all went back over. So Limp Bizkit was all living in this rented fucking mansion in mid-Wilshire somewhere right up the street from Swingers. And so we all went over there. We were hanging out. We were going to go over to Energy and go listen to the mixes of the record, right? So Elijah Blue Allman was there, randomly enough. He just showed up. And then we're about to go leave. And Fred, so remember in the Faith video, he had that little fucking pug? He had a pug in the Faith video. Well, you ever go to somebody's house where they have that fucking annoying dog that tries to dash out the door every time you open it? That was Fred's fucking pug. So we went to go leave to go get in the car and go drive to Energy. And the fucking dog runs out the door and into the goddamn street. Fred looks at me and goes, well, what the fuck are you doing? Get my fucking dog. And I just kind of look. And mind you, Fred's 5'4". I'm at the time 6 foot, strapping 240. Like, I was young and pretty fucking, you know, buff then. You know what I mean? And so I looked at him for a second. I'm like, all right, motherfucker. So me and Eric are running around chasing this fucking dog like a Laurel and Hardy sketch up and down the street. Eric's running after him. I am. Fucking thing almost runs out into Beverly or Wilshire or whatever.
Right.
Whatever. So we finally get the dog, bring it back. But I'm put it in the house. I'm just livid at this fucking point because, you know, fuck you. Don't disrespect me, you midget motherfucker. No disrespect any little people, but he's a fucking dick. I mean, it was so disrespectful. And you got to keep in mind, I've done a lot of shit for this motherfucker, right? I've been a loyal soldier to this motherfucker for 5 years. You know, it's just kind of how he flipped on you guys. You know what I mean? Same kind of thing. It was just super disrespectful. So I got right in his fucking face. I'm looking down at him. You know, he's at about here, you know, in his platform fucking Adidas tennis shoes with 4-inch lifts. You know, and you know, I had the inner dialogue, you know, should I do it? Should I knock him the fuck out? Will I go to jail? How long will I go to jail? Will it be worth it for the story? In retrospect, it would have been, and I wish I would have, but I did not, and here we are. But yeah, we never talked again. I literally never talked to the guy again after that. Kind of said "fuck you" and we left. And 3 years later, I was on tour with Cold, opening for Jerry Cantrell, and we happened to be in the same city, and we went to the Family Values tour, and we just kind of looked at each other and smirked, and that was really it. It wasn't. That was it. But it was this fucking close, man.
Yeah, right.
This imagine being the guy who knocked out Fred fucking Durst. In retrospect, holy shit, I would have loved to have been that guy. But yeah, whatever. I got nothing but love for Fred. And
could have been like a guy that knocked out Glenn Danzig.
I know that guy, right? Right? But yeah, no shit. It would have been. People, I still think about that guy. I Googled that a couple months ago, and it was a dude from Fury of 5. I still remember who it was. I still remember who it was that knocked out Glenn Danzig 25 years ago.
Dude, that went viral before viral was a thing.
I know, right? That was like the first $3 bill was fucking dope. I mean, look, some of the shit on Significant Other was pretty fucking dope. I mean, look, I liked that band. I loved that band, especially the first record. I got nothing but love for Fred, and I'm not even talking shit. It's just funny. I forget. I'm the Taproot fucking Facebook telling the story, but whatever. It is what it is, but Fred's a cool dude, I guess, and I don't know. I haven't talked to him in 20 fucking years. I saw him literally a couple times after that, and I really never interacted with the guy. And I had a lot of good times with him, man. I was at, the platinum record party for $3 bill, y'all. Fucking, I was hanging out with Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Like, it was crazy, the people that were around them. Like, I mean, he was dating Carmen Electra for a minute. Like, I got to see some crazy shit being around Limp Bizkit. I give it up, man. I give it up. I had a really good time hanging out with Limp Bizkit and being around them and whatever. And I got nothing but love for that time and that period and whatever. It's a funny fucking story, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
So anyway, anybody got any other? I know it would have been a way better ending to the fucking story. I know.
Just start saying it.
Yeah, I'd just say I did. I'll just say, fuck it. Yeah, I did. I knocked him the fuck out. There was no video back then. Nobody had video phones or. Yeah, you don't know. I totally did. No, dude, I actually used to have a thing on my radio show called Thom Hazaert's True Hollywood Stories. And if you Google it, you might be able to find. I actually made one of the Fred Durst. And it's funny because now every time I tell that story, I try and not tell it like that. But it's funny. But certain aspects of it, like it just comes up the same way now. But yeah, if you Google it, you can actually probably. And it's funny because I did it with like background music and sound effects. And it's actually fucking hilarious.
Nice.
It's still somewhere. But yeah, I actually did. I did Thom Hazaert's True Hollywood Stories. And that was one of them. And it was true. I don't know if Zach had beef with Fred Durst. I have no clue. And it's funny enough, there are puppies barking in the Thom Hazaert's True Hollywood Story thing, too. So anyway, what time is it? Fuck, 10 o'clock. We did another hour and a half by ourselves. Anybody else got any more questions or comments? Or let's wrap this up with something interesting, something more interesting than me babbling about Fred Durst.
Hey, when you were listening to Kiss from the Sky, was it doing a weird like slow-mo, like a slow down thing?
No, but one of the songs we played last week did. I think it's just something with this.
Okay,
it did not. Last week when one of the ones we played did do that, and I don't remember, but it was funny. And I was looking at you like, do you hear this?
Yeah, it was. I didn't hear it last week, but I heard it a few times on today's song, and I was like, I hope we proof listen to this because.
Oh yeah, no, it's just something with the internet on the StreamYard. Okay. Now I listened to the whole
stupid internet.
Yeah, I know, fucking it. Well, I had another guest that was going to come on, and he was having trouble with his internet. Like it's just not our night, man. Now next week everybody will be on.
Right.
Here, let's listen to fucking. Why don't we listen to VIP again? Why don't we rock some VIP?
There we go.
And then we'll wrap this up with a couple questions and get the fuck out of here. So who wants to rock out to VIP with us? Friday, as you see down here on all digital outlets.
cute puppies.
Man, they're so cute. I hate it. There you go. Somebody wanted to see puppies, so here you go. There's puppy exhibit A. Oh God, the natives are getting restless. What am I? Look at this. This is my life. Like I'm just overtaken, but they're the cutest. They destroy everything. They're like fucking Tasmanian devils, but they're so cute. Oh God, it's awful. So that's VIP Friday, man. Friday, all digital out. They do still got it, man. Oh hi, cutie. Steve Richards, baby. He's not here, but we'll give him some love anyway. He flaked out on us. Well, come on, talk about these puppies for a second. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that face, Bill. Look at that face.
What are their names?
I don't know. You can't name them.
You don't name them?
You can. I mean, I don't know. And this is Mama's down here like, hey, I'm cute too. But yeah, I don't know. We didn't name it. I call this one Tank. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't named them. You can't really name animals you're going to get rid of. You know what I mean? Because then you get attached. I'm already too attached.
Right.
So, I'll watch. I'll end up just keeping them, and I'll have 5 fucking dogs, and I'll be a weird dog lady.
Like the equivalent of Jared with kids.
Exactly. Those people, I'll just have fucking 10 puppies following me everywhere I go. I'm just curious how big they're going to be. They're little because their dad's a Chihuahua. Their mom's like a little pug Shih Tzu. She's bigger, but she's not. I mean, I think they're going to be little.
Right.
And it is. My whole life is cuteness overload. Like every 14 years ago, right? Are you coming to some of the shows, William? Where you at? All right, here. You guys can get down. You want to go run around here? Go ahead, Mama. Go make a mess. Go destroy some shit. Here you go, baby. Here you go. Go play, Mama. Anyway, so all right, who's got questions to wrap this shit up? What do you guys think of VIP? No, well, we're not getting to Florida. Eventually, maybe. Not now. Florida can drive 24 hours to somewhere else. See you guys for a change. How about that? It is pretty fucking amazing. Wait till you guys hear the rest of the record, man. It's fucking great. I love it. I listen to it so much I like burn myself out on it though, because like I just listen to it every day when Steve sent it to me, like every day. I think I heard it before Phil did. I think I heard it before anybody else heard the whole fucking thing. Probably. And I just listened to it to death. But it's so good, and I'm sure you guys will do the same thing when it comes out.
Well, I have to listen to it because I got to learn it.
Well, I didn't mean you. I mean the fans. Like you're going to listen to it. You have no choice. Did you learn your songs? Do you know your songs?
Yeah, I've got 4 of the 5 down.
Well, that ain't bad. 4 out of 5. Isn't that a Meatloaf song? 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
I am. Hey, Leslie Wayman. How you doing?
A lot of people say it's like, it reminds them of a gift and welcome. I'm like, look, that's a good thing. It reminds people of what. Can you stop whatever you're doing? See, they're off Metallica, you little asshole. So anyway, Northwood Rock Rally. We'll be there eventually. I think they suckered us into going the night before now, too. I think we have to. I think we committed to it live. So we have no choice now.
Won't be a bad time.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So anyway, well, we should probably wrap this up. Sorry nobody else joined us. Hopefully you guys were entertained enough with just the 2 of us. Just the 2 of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the 2 of us. Phil and I. Just the 2 of us. Of course, Bo, thank you guys for joining us. Nothing wrong with that. Phil doesn't go out. Phil doesn't go to festivals. Phil sits at home and talks to me on the internet. And then sometimes once a week, we do it live so people can join in. It's very voyeuristic. Anyway, night, guys.
Yeah, good night, everyone.
One of these days, Phil's going to play the drums for you.
Yeah, you better sounding drums. These are not good sounding kit. I got to get me some Yamahas or something.
No, one of these. What is it?
It is we had a Ludwig set, and then my son's papa switched it out because he wanted the better sounding kit. And this is what does it say? I don't even know. Oh, it's a different Ludwig kit.
Oh, there you go.
So
One
not as
of
good
these
sounding
days, I'm
Ludwig
gonna
kit.
play the didgeridoo for you guys. How about that?
That's what we're all looking forward to.
I
That's why people come.
I think that's what's packing them in every week. Is God, maybe Tom will play the didgeridoo for us
And you just
tonight.
keep dangling that carrot. Just like,
Are
come
you a
on, people.
didgeridoo or a didgeridoo? That's the question. All right, not Max Caballero.
All right.
Signing off. Definitely not Thom Hazaert.
Definitely not.
Thank God for you, man. You dodged a bullet with that one.
There's a big shoes to fill.
Size 13.
All right.
Big pink shoes to fill.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
All right. Night, guys.